Hey there folks, welcome you all to yet another cheap little vlog of mine. These are becoming a little bit of a habit, aren't they, eh? I think I'm enjoying doing these down here a little bit too much. Well, I'll tell you for why I'm doing it this way. There wasn't a huge amount of gaming news anyway, but I wanted to pop in and say hello to you all and give you my thoughts and opinions on The Last of Us Part 1, or The Last of Us Remake, which I received yesterday on launch day, and I have recorded 3 parts, people, which I've put up for you. We'll get into that in a minute. And also, I didn't want to get into a huge... I'm going to sit down almost straight away, people, so I can rest my arm, my weary arm, people. Which is, in fact, aching from doing a massive workout this morning. Another 2 hour, 20 minutes of weights, people, which I was trying to rush into 2 hours worth because I was trying to get back for the footy. So I was rushing back for the Celtic Rangers game. And the Liverpool-Everton game was on at exactly the same time, so I had the Celtic game on the TV. Well, I did get back in time, actually, as it happened. My workout still took me 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I was there at 9, and the game didn't kick off till... I thought it kicked off at 12, but both the games didn't kick off till 12:30. So that's been my day, really. I did my big workout this morning, and got back... chilled out, watched the footy, and I'm prepping up for Clash in the Castle tonight, people, because I love my wrestling. Anyone who watches the channel knows that I'm a bit of a wrestling fan. And Clash in the Castle, Clash in the Castle, Clash in the Castle, Clash, I can't say it now, Clash in the Castle is in London, it's in Cardiff, in fact. Should we start that all over again, people? What's happening? My brain suddenly stopped working. Clash in the Castle, people. It's happening in Cardiff this very evening at 6 o'clock. Now, normally these big live pay-per-views happen in the United States of America because it's WWE. And it's the first time in 30 years that they've done a pay-per-view, a massive pay-per-view event in the UK. And the last one they did was like the British Bulldog and I think it might have been Bret Hart. One of the big matches of all time. And they've been to the UK doing Raw and SmackDown, but they've not been for the big live events that are pay-per-views, like the big 4-hour jobbers. I mean, they're usually about 4 hours. In fact, WrestleMania is 2 days now. WrestleMania goes over a Saturday night and a Sunday night, and I think there were 4 or 5 hours apiece, both parts. It was a really good WrestleMania this year, to be fair. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. But because it's happening in the UK, sorry, I've got something in my eye here, people. Because it's happening in the UK, it's on at 6 p.m. Whereas when it's on in the United States, I end up watching it after the event because they're on at like 1 in the morning for about 5 hours. So there's no way I'm staying up to watch that. Aaron Brew, my boy, because we both got into the wrestling together when he was little. And so he still gets right into WrestleMania and stuff at times with his mates. Sometimes only for WrestleMania though, he'll have his mates round and have lots of beers and just drink right through into the morning. I don't know how he does it. I don't think they've done one for a couple of years, but they used to all get together and do it as a big deal. But yeah, there's no way that I would be doing that. But because it's in the UK, because it's in Cardiff, and it's the big match is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championships. I really love it if they let old Drew McIntyre win that one. I say old Drew McIntyre, he's a young man compared to me, but you know what I mean. Ye old Drew McIntyre, he's a young man. Yeah, I mean, I'd love Drew McIntyre to get the Undisputed. Roman Reigns has had him for 2 years now. Well, he's had the SmackDown one for 2 years. He's had the Undisputed for a blur amount of time. So yeah, I don't know though. It is still a bit of a pull, the whole bloodline sort of thing. You know, it's still a big puller of viewers and stuff. So I don't know. See what happens. Just with it being in the UK, I think it'd be a really special night if they actually let Drew get the titles tonight. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's my evening all planned out. I've just cracked open my first beer, which is just behind me here, people. Flagons up to you all. Flagons up to you all. Should we have a look at the lightsaber again? The original Obi-Wan lightsaber. One day I'll need to light that up for you. I can't remember if I've ever lit it up for the channel, have I? Can't remember. But it is awesome though. It's a proper collector's one where you swing it around and it goes woo, 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 woo. And it's got about a million different colours on it. It's great. Oh, flagons up, people. That is awesome. I know it looks like it's flat, but it's not. It's really fizzy. Every now and then with Stellas, you you crack one open and it's super fizzy, but you can't get a head on it at all. Like the head just comes up and then it just fizzes away really quickly. I do like it when it's a little bit frothy, but there you are. So that's my evening planned out. The what else were we going to talk about? I have got. Give me a sec. Yeah. So with regards to the channel, let's just have a little channel update, shall we? While we're here. Always good news, as it were. Let me know in the comments below, by the way, if you are a wrestling fan. Any of you out there wrestling fans, let me know if you're going to be watching Clash in the Castle tonight, and if you and what you think of the matches that are on, and let me know in the comments below about any of it, people. Oh, and also I should say I'm sorry, LLC Cool C Plays. I'm really sorry, but your team just did not turn up today, and we thrashed you 4-0, mate. I mean, just going to put it in there, you know what I mean? Because there'll come a time when you can do it to me. Celtic gave Rangers a good 4-0 gubbing today, people. Yes, they did. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Actually, I was this close to wearing my Celtic top, but I try and avoid putting anything football related into my videos. It puts people off. So there you are. Anyway, should we move past it? Yes, the recording. I got The Last of Us Part 1 yesterday, or The Last of Us Remake, and I recorded 3 parts back to back. I know that it's not the sort of thing that I record on the channel, and I might do a 4th part just to tidy it up a little bit, because the bit I'm in is actually quite a cool little section where you start using Molotovs for the first time. So it might just be a cool little video to record anyway. And I'll be playing it anyway, so I might as well do another one. Not many views on those videos at all, but I just wanted to do a few of them at least, so that there was something on the channel for it to show off how good it looks in comparison to the previous versions, and also my thoughts and opinions, with it being my favourite, well, one of my favourite games of all time, if not the, then, you know, I wanted just to have my thoughts on camera, as it were, although I'm not on camera, but you know what I mean, my voice on mic, while the game's on camera. And yeah, so I really wanted to do it and just share that initial experience of it. And so far, I mean, I'm absolutely loving being back in that world and back in that original story, and with all of the extra shininess and stuff around it. And it's not just now, so far as I can tell, as far as I've played it so far, there's only been one major bit down at the docks at the very beginning, where I felt like the AI was a bit more clever than it used to be. And they did say that they had done, they put new AI into it to make it a trickier proposition. And I did find that the enemies, once they were alert to me being there, they were definitely flanking me a lot more than I remember them ever doing in the previous game. Still did the level pretty well, actually. In fact, the levels that I've said that they could go south have actually done really well. But other than, I think it only really kicks in when they are alerted, because I don't think they've changed the standard routine of what they do, just walking around and pacing their little routine. Once you're discovered, or they know that you're there, then I think that's when the extra AI kicks in, and that's when it starts getting a bit clever. That's what my sense of it is at the moment. And I think it's the 3rd part where we get the first major infected room. That was as kind of as I remember it, but it's probably the best I've ever done that room. I was talking about on the run up in part 3, on the run up to that room, I was going, oh, we're coming to a room, this could go all kinds of wrong. I mean, I failed that room so many times, and I cleared it first time, and I cleared it without alerting one single enemy in that first room. And it's a really difficult room, because it's got, I think, probably about 6 or 7 infected all wandering about that one area. One of them's a clicker as well, so you don't want to get him noised up, or her. It's hard to tell. And I managed to clear them all out without alerting a single one. And that was just doing stealth attacks. So it was probably the cleanest and smoothest I've ever done it, which was pretty cool. And as far as the actual, I mean, so far, there's 2 things jumping out. One is the environments are just so much. Well, there's 3 things, actually. The environments themselves are just so much crisper. The lighting is just superb across the board. You can tell they've spent a lot of work and a lot of time on lighting. And the facial animations of the characters during cutscenes, and even in game, the facial stuff is just miles beyond where we were before. I mean, in the cutscene stuff, I mean, I'm mesmerised by the emotional capture they've got on their faces, like that. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's stuff like the eyes, the eyebrows moving at the right time of being surprised or scowling or smirking, or that sort of stuff. The whole face is working. Whereas in previous games of cutscene that I've ever seen, there's always a sense of like there is some emotion there, but the whole face isn't sort of working together to make it what would be a human, looking at a human having those emotions. So it's been super impressive on every character that's been in cutscenes so far. Really, really impressive. And the characters themselves, you can see the sort of like Tess is a great example because, I mean, I always had a little bit a thing for Tess. I'm sure lots of us do. But yeah, you could never see her age in the previous games because of the graphics. And in this game, you can see her age. You can see that she's a bit worn with the world she's living and the life she's living. Still a sexy woman, though. You know what I mean? I mean, she's still hot, but you can see that sort of war-torn look on her. But I mean, it's probably a bit sexier anyway because you can actually see all her all her facial expressions and stuff are really cool and coming to life. So the whole thing, she's just a badass woman. You know what I mean? Spoiler: I was gutted when that moment comes. That as gutted as Joel was. You know what I mean? Because that's where he was clearly getting some. You know what I'm saying, people. But yeah, so I am super impressed. And would I recommend you buying it at 70 quid or 60 quid? If it's not your favourite game ever, then probably not. I'd probably just wait till it comes down to £40. But it is a visual, stunning piece of work. It really is fantastic. And I've only done 3 parts, but I'm just finding the whole thing. The thing is, even with all of that added in, and we should add that, like things like the city and surroundings when you're in the city with the falling down skyscrapers and all that sort of stuff, like all the shrubbery and the bushes and the plant life growing over the buildings, it's all moving in the wind, and papers floating around the floor, and there's so much stuff added just in general, not to mention that all of the assets themselves and the buildings and stuff are all just looking like proper stuff now, instead of just paintings and stuff around. You look in the distance, it all looks like proper buildings now. And it's just super impressive, especially like it's just alive when you're walking through what is in fact, well, apart from the infected wandering around rooms, what is in fact a sort of desolate area because it's all been destroyed. It's alive with plant life and things moving, and it's just awesome. Really, really cool. The only thing that's frustrated me is trying to get the sound right, and I'm pretty sure I had this problem with the remaster as well. They've implemented surround sound sort of thing where something comes out that side is in that ear, something comes out that side in that ear. And the problem is that with that on, when you're having the in-game conversations, and most of the conversation stuff you'll hear in this game, and the stuff you want to hear in this game because it's important to the connection you make with these characters, and he's always with someone nearly all of the time. Not all, well, there are moments where he's not, but most of the time there's people with them. If you turn around at the wrong time or walk away, you suddenly can't hear anything they're saying. So in the end, after, I think if you watch the first part, you'll see the problems I was having. And at the beginning of the second part, I figured out that if you turn on mono in the sound, it's not actually mono. It's not like going back to 1962. It is, I don't know why I picked 62 out there. It could have been 60. You know what I mean, though? It's not like that. All it means is that the sound, all of the sound comes through both ears, not one or the other, depending on where you're facing. And that immediately fixed all the problems. And it's not just the headphones, it was even the recording in the first part. You could hear when I was switching it around, you guys weren't hearing it properly, the volume was really low, it just wasn't right at all. So the best sound I've found to play that game in, for anyone that's still having that issue with me, just turn it on to mono, and then you'll hear, doesn't matter where you walk to, you'll hear the conversation from whoever's walking with you. And yeah, there was no other way of playing it for me, because otherwise you'd miss half the conversation. And I had this, excuse my hand for a second, I had this problem actually with Final Fantasy VII Remake. There was conversations I kept missing pieces of, so I might, if I ever play that game again, I might actually look for a setting that's similar to mono in there, or might be called mono in there, because there was all sorts of conversations I was missing. I remember there's a bit near the end where you have to walk up a flight of stairs just forever and ever and ever. Aaron kept saying, do it, do it, do it, because he wouldn't tell me why. He said, don't take the lift, go up the stairs. And I did. And then I texted him sort of midway through, and I was like, why was I going up these stairs? Like, nothing's happening. He goes, no, but it's really funny, the conversation you're having with Barrett. And I was like, I can't hear a conversation with Barrett. There's nothing happening. He's like, oh, well, something's wrong. And then sure enough, when I was spinning the camera around, it depended where I was facing. And Barrett was having this whole conversation all the way up the stairs, and I missed it all, apart from the tail end of it, because I just couldn't hear it. I even remember sending Aaron, I started filming the screen and spinning the camera. I said, I've missed it all because of this. I wonder if I've still got that clip. I don't think I do. But anyway, so it's a thing in games. Like, they need to figure that out, because if you're going to put dynamic sound into a game, I love that sort of stuff, you know, but for the conversation side of it, leave that coming out of both ears. So it doesn't matter where they are, you can still hear them. It's clever what you're trying to do, but it makes no sense, because we will never hear those conversations properly. Because it doesn't work. If it was just a case of, oh, they've gone a bit fainter and I can still hear them, that's fine. But it's not like that. It's a real sharp, can barely hear them at all, to not hearing them at all. So, yeah, that needs worked out in a massive way. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, we got around it. And there you are. So I've recorded the 3 parts. I'm absolutely loving it. Wouldn't recommend spending 70 to 60 quid if it's not your favourite game or one of your favourite games ever. Or if you've not played it before and never bought it before, then I suppose paying out that money is not really, because you are getting one of the best games ever made. So I would say if you've never purchased the game before, it's absolutely worth that money. I'm just saying to the people that have already played it, you know, on the PS3, the PS4, even the enhanced PS4 Pro version, and even, you know, yeah. And so I would say if you've played all of those and you're not chomping at the bit to play it again particularly, just wait till it comes down in price. In fact, they'll probably at some point shove it on the, you know, the free set of games that they've got that you can play. But I'm absolutely loving the fact I've got an excuse to play it again. Oh, and there's one other thing that's really annoyed me. They've changed the trophies. So there is no difficulty trophies on it, and I'm really pissed off about it, because I was really looking forward to going for all of those difficulty trophies again, and they're not there. And because it always frustrated me that the only reason that I'd never got the plat on the original game after doing all of that graft was that you had to do a stupid amount of hours on the online part of it to get 2 trophies, and I just didn't have it in me to do it. And it's the only reason I didn't get the platinum. And I was really looking forward to just getting the same trophy list minus the online stuff, because there's no online in this version, and just doing it and having that trophy and that achievement in myself that I did it and got the plat. Now it's just a really piss easy platinum. They're just handing platinums out. It's really annoying me. Like, that is not the idea of platinums. The idea of platinums isn't there just to dish them out to anyone who wants to play a game once round. It's like, give us a challenge. Like, the whole point of trophy systems is to keep us engrossed and a reason to go back and do it again. Like, there's no point having a trophy system. If you get all the trophies the first time around, what is the point of playing that game again, other than for if you really loved it that much to go and play it again? But if you don't give us anything to work towards in the game, what is the point? Like, the whole reason I played the game 5 times around was to get the collectibles and also get the difficulty ones. So I'm really pissed off about it. And they've done this. They did it with The Last of Us Part 2. They didn't put a difficulty one in, and they made all the trophies dead easy to get. And they've done it with they've not only done it with The Last of Us Part 1, but they've physically removed the trophies that I really loved in that game, which were the difficulty trophies and other such things. So I'm really pissed off about it. And I really, like, there must be some way of complaining to Sony or Naughty Dog or somebody about what the fuck are you doing with trophies. I mean, it doesn't seem to be happening with third-party ones so much. I could be wrong. You could tell me in the comments below what you think, but the first-party ones from Sony, they're literally just giving platinums away, and that is not the point of trophy systems. There's got to be a challenge in there. What's the point otherwise? I don't like the ones that are stupid, you know, like if you've got 50 guns in the game, you've got to get 50 kills with every gun, or, you know, they wind me up, stuff like that. But something challenging, like, it's certainly difficulty. There should be no question. There should be. You used to have play it on easy, play it on normal, play it on hard, play it on impossible. Trophy for each one. They were given. You know what I mean? And those people who don't want to go for the two top ones, well, you won't get the platinum. You just got to live with it. Because I understand you've got to make gaming accessible. It's not unaccessible just because they can't get a platinum. I've got me off on one, people. Anyway, I'm in loving being back in it, and I'm super excited to go and play more of it. If anything, I'll probably do a fourth part. If not, I'll just leave the three up that are there, but I don't think anyone's going to miss it. We are an RPG channel after all, people, in the main part. There was one story just on the side of that. I will obviously be playing The Last of Us off camera, but I will try and crack back into Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning recording at some point this coming week, because we haven't done any for a week or so. That I just haven't done any recording other than those three parts of The Last of Us that I recorded yesterday. In fact, I haven't done any gaming. And there was one story I was going to pick up on, which is Microsoft Activision deal could lessen competition. UK watchdog is starting to investigate this purchase, people, this merger. This is from the BBC website. Microsoft plan to buy Activision Blizzard. Microsoft's plan to buy Activision Blizzard could substantially lessen competition in consoles, multi-game subscription services, and game streaming, a UK watchdog has said. Microsoft wants to buy the maker of Watch Dogs, Candy Crush, and Call of Duty for $68.7 billion, £59.2 billion. But the UK's Competition and Markets Authority's CMA says that its concerns mean it may now carry out an in-depth probe. Microsoft said it is ready to work with the CMA on the next steps. If the deal goes through, it will be Xbox maker's largest ever acquisition. Hang on. Struggling today, people. Must have been a good workout earlier. I'm also roasting. It's not even hot outside. In its ruling, the CMA said that it was concerned that if Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, it could harm rivals by refusing them access to Activision Blizzard games or providing access on much worse terms. Saoirse O'Carroll, Senior Director of Mergers at the CMA, said Microsoft could use its control over popular games like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft post-merger to harm rivals. If our current concerns are not addressed, we plan to explore this deal in an in-depth Phase 2 investigation to reach a decision that works in the interest of UK gamers and businesses. This decision marks the end of the CMA's initial investigation, Phase 1, as it is called. At Phase 2, the CMA appoints an independent panel to examine the deal in more depth. If after the CMA finds that a merger is problematic, it will take steps to remedy its bad effects. That could mean stopping the merger or allowing it to proceed, but only if certain conditions are met. Yeah, I mean, I won't go through the whole article here because don't think. I don't know, maybe mobile motive. In response to the news, Microsoft President Brad Smith said in a statement, "We're ready to work with the CMA on next steps and address any of its concerns." Sony, as the industry leader, says it is worried about Call of Duty, but we've said we are committed to making the same game available on the same day on both Xbox and PlayStation. We want people to have more access to the games, not less. Microsoft maintains that its principal interest in the planned acquisition is Activision Blizzard's expertise in mobile gaming. The firm's head of gaming, Phil Spencer, told Bloomberg that the biggest gaming platform on the planet is mobile phones, an area in which Microsoft lacked expertise. Currently, Activision games can be... still in camera shot, people. Currently, Activision games can be played on both Xbox and rival PlayStation consoles, but the proposed takeover has led to some speculate that more games might become Xbox exclusive. This is something Mr. Smith previously denied in an interview on the CNBC, telling the network that great titles like Call of Duty will continue to be available on the Sony PlayStation. He drew parallel with the firm's 2014 acquisition of Minecraft, where he said the company had invested in the game and brought it to more platforms. The point was reiterated in a blog post by Phil Spencer published on Thursday. Yeah, this goes on for a while. So I think that really what to take away from it is that it's by no means a done deal per se, but I do get the feeling sometimes that this sort of stuff is really just to make sure all the boxes are ticked, and that there's no way that they're going to stand in the way of such a massive money. I mean, in the end, money talks most of the time. It's very rare for major acquisitions like that to get poo-pooed and not allowed to happen. because the companies themselves can start making noises and go, well, I remember there was something going. I remember something happening with Microsoft, and they said to Bill Gates that they were going to, I can't remember what it was, so don't quote me on it, but it was something like, we're going to tax you more money or something, or you're not allowed to do that. So you have to break the company up, or you have to do something. He was like, well, I'm not doing that. He goes, so I'm just going to move my headquarters to Canada then. At which point the American government were like, whoa, there's no need to go crazy. You know what I mean? We can sit and talk about it. So, big companies have a bit of pull when they start saying, well, we'll just move the UK Xbox headquarters to Ireland then, and we'll see how you feel about that, or whatever, So I do feel like they're just going to tick all the boxes. They'll probably put a few stipulations in there saying you cannot make it Xbox only, or you cannot do this, or you cannot do that, maybe something like that. But we'll see what happens, people. But there you are. That is all I had for you in the world of gaming news. It was the one thing I picked up on a couple of days ago. And yeah, that was it. I just wanted, really, the main purpose was really just to pop in and say hello and tell you all I'm absolutely sweltering, people. Jesus Christ. I was going to have the back door open behind me here, but there was people chatting in the gardens. It's not even that warm. It's actually quite breezy. I might go and sit outside for a bit and just cool off. And it probably is in the end something to do with the fact that I did a 2-hour, 20-minute warm, complete weights workout earlier on, and my temperature's just up maybe. But I'm absolutely sweltering. It's nice and cool outside, but it's roasting in the house. Cheers again, people. Well, there you are. That is all I have for you, people. If I keep talking, I'll just be whittering on about nothing at all. So, I hope you all have a pleasant Saturday. Enjoy class at the castle, if you're going to be watching that like I will be. And enjoy a night of gaming, or enjoy whatever you're doing. But whatever you're doing at this time of night, people, why don't you go and have a little beverage like me? And join me in a Flagons Up, people. There you are. That's all I have for you. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you in this little vlog of mine today. And I shall catch you all in the next one, folks. Take it easy. Bye.